It was late March. Cold winds still brushed across the Thames and rattled windows in London's East End. At first glance, nothing about Benoît had changed. He still walked to class every morning with his laptop and notebook in his satchel. He still sat in the second row of the lecture theater, still nodded when spoken to, and still showed up, always a few minutes early. But beneath the routine, something had shifted. Inside, Benoît was living in two realities. In one, he was the determined student, grinding through a system he promised to honor. In the other, he was a builder out of sync with the world he had entered. Since failing the midterm exam, Benoît had become quieter. He answered fewer questions. He participated in fewer study groups. He still attended his English support sessions with Liz, but now with less confidence and more obligation. At night, he read the same paragraph 3 or 4 times before it made sense. He understood the science, fluid dynamics, material strength, environmental load, but explaining it in polished English under time pressure? That had defeated him once already. He still remembered the red 43% on the grading portal. A number, yes, but also a message. One he could not ignore. A second wind. Benoît didn't give up. But he did begin to look beyond. He started quietly researching alternative programs, ones that wouldn't test his intelligence through essay structure but through invention and creation. He looked at polytechnic schools, technical colleges, American universities. The system in the United Kingdom, he realized, was designed for those trained to navigate it since high school. In his village in Congo, Benoît had learned to build with discarded parts, to troubleshoot with intuition, to calculate flow without equations, using only soil texture and gut feel. He didn't learn this in textbooks. He learned it with his hands. And he needed a system that could meet him there. One evening, after hours of searching, he came across a name, Wentworth Institute of Technology, located in Boston, Massachusetts. It wasn't Harvard, it wasn't MIT, but it spoke to him. Wentworth offered degrees in applied engineering, with a project-based curriculum, small class sizes, and strong international student mentorship. It had partnerships with nonprofits, a co-op program, and a civil engineering lab where students were encouraged to experiment, prototype, and field test their ideas. He wrote down one line from their website. "We learn by doing, so we graduate ready to lead." That night, Benoît didn't sleep much. He didn't feel like a failure anymore. He felt misplaced. 3 days later, he sat down and drafted the hardest letter he'd ever written. Not to ask for sympathy, but to ask for permission to adjust course without betraying the trust placed in him. Subject: formal request for institutional transfer. Kalungi Benoît. To Red Cross and International Development Sponsorship Board. Dear Committee, I write with gratitude for the opportunity I've been given to study abroad and further my development in the field of rural engineering and sustainability. Over the past several months, I have worked to the best of my ability to meet academic expectations here in London. I've attended every class, sought English tutoring weekly, and committed myself to group work and independent study. However, the format and pedagogy at this institution lean heavily on formal written English and time-constrained assessments. This has limited my ability to express the full depth of my engineering understanding and field experience. With respect and reflection, I would like to propose a transfer to Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston, Massachusetts, a university that aligns more closely with my strengths. Their hands-on, project-based curriculum is built for engineers who learn by applying, not just theorizing. My dream remains unchanged, to return to Congo with scalable solutions for rural water access and infrastructure. I am simply requesting a more suitable path to reach that dream. I remain committed to the values of our foundation: water, skills, dignity. With gratitude, Kalungi Benoît, London, UK. He read the letter aloud once, then again. Then hit send. Benoît didn't stop attending class. He didn't tell his classmates. He didn't drop out or disappear. Instead, he continued to show up every day, just as he always had. He brought new questions to his tutorials. He rewrote old lecture notes. He even joined a student-led workshop on groundwater pressure just to keep his hands busy. He didn't know what would come of the letter, but he knew he wasn't quitting. Not from this university, and not from the mission. One Thursday afternoon, Liz, the English tutor, caught him packing his bag. "You've been quiet," she said gently. "Still studying," Benoît replied. "Yes, but something's different." He didn't deny it. He just smiled and said, "Maybe I am building something new. Follow for more short stories and life lessons. One tale, one truth, one heart at a time."